Since starting my transition journey, I've had some quite weird and horrible interactions with people that I never would have expected. One of these interactions was with this lady who supposedly had a trans friend, so she wasn't transphobic, but didn't agree with younger people like me transitioning, even though I'm in my 20s. And she was talking about how so many people transitioning these days, and there's only a few people who are actually trans, and there's so many more people who are transitioning. When things are more accepted, more people are going to be open about who they are. It's a lot more acceptable, and there is less hate and stigma towards trans people, so of course trans people are going to be coming out more, transitioning more, not game overing as much. I remember when I was 14, and that is when I pretty much accepted that I was trans. I knew I was, but when I found out the statistics about trans guys having one of the highest rates of game over, I was just like, I wish this wasn't me. And I didn't think I would make it to 16. So this lady was saying that she has a trans friend, so she's not transphobic, but I'm just gonna have to be on hormones for the rest of my life, and the only reason doctors are so for it is because Big Pharma wants to get all this money. I told her it cost me $7 to get my testosterone, which I then went to a free doctor's clinic to get injected. And I only had to do that with the one I'm on every few months. At the start, for the puberty, I had to do it the first 3 times, like 6 weeks apart. But it's $7. You can buy a chai latte. Actually, I think many places will have chai lattes more expensive. I don't drink coffee. I like tea though. Oh my, ADHD brain here. So at this stage of my transition, it's only every 3 to 6 months. I might even have more than 6 months before I get my next injection of testosterone. $7. I am on concession since I get like a government allowance, since I'm not working and unwell. I get medical certificates then, yeah. Anyway, I would spend more than that each month before transitioning on the pill, which I wasn't supposed to be taking because of the certain type of migraines I got. It costs me more per month with the pill and like the menstrual hygiene products than it does for me to go on testosterone. Like, that's not the reason I went on it, but let's see if I can just get what I wanted to say in one stream. So there was this lady, and she had a trans friend, so she wasn't transphobic at all, according to her. Yet she was trying to get me to explain myself and why I was trans, and telling me that Big Pharma was the reason why doctors were allowing so many people to transition these days. No. It cost me less for my testosterone than it did in menstrual hygiene products. It cost me less over several months for my testosterone than it did for 1 month of my menstrual products. Big Pharma's not going to be making all this money off of me. I'll go to the doctors and get injected with the testosterone for free, paid by the government. And when I brought up these arguments to her, she was saying, well, you're going to have to be on it for the rest of your life. And Big Pharma's getting the money, even if the government's spending it. Firstly, not everyone goes on hormones. So 1, not every trans person goes on hormones or medically transitions. There are many reasons for that, which I'm not going to list now as I will get sidetracked. 2, even though I have started hormones, I don't have to stay on them for the rest of my life. There's certain things that will not go back to before I started hormones, like my voice, my facial hair, and those are 2 things that I really wanted, so I don't have to be on hormones for the rest of my life like this person. It's like, you have to be on them for the rest of your life. Big Pharma. Bah. No. Another thing that I was told that was very hurtful was that I was trying to escape misogyny. Okay. Just because I've experienced misogyny doesn't mean I'm a woman. Another really hurtful thing that I was told was, how could I be sure that I was trans since I have experienced trauma? Gender and trauma, 2 completely different and separate things. Yes, they can overlap. I have gender dysphoria, diagnosed. And it's pretty traumatic growing up, not being allowed to be who you are, having to suppress who you are, having to hide, having to pretend to be someone else.